the NBCs and ABCs and CBSs of the world, and you every other minute you're seeing some political ad. That's gotta beat the crap out of you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. I mean, it's the market of the moment, right? And as we say, there's never a bad market. It's just an opportunity market, and somebody's going to get the opportunity. We just don't know who yet, right? So right now, it's been seller's market for so long. I think it will continue to be, but right now things have just backed off. So buyers have had a little bit of leverage here. I've seen some price reductions, more than I've seen, in a long, long time. A lot more open houses, things like that. So it's definitely a different market. And how the end of this year shakes out, I don't, we'll see. So awesome. Well, it is 9:02. Good morning, Lisa. Thanks, Aaron, for
Good
joining.
morning.
Um,
How
Aaron,
was your knee?
what was that?
How was your knee?
Oh, that's like a loaded question, honestly. I have had some really rough days, so I probably look a little rough yet, but
No, you
um
don't. You look
I
amazing. That's why I'm asking. I'm like, did
thank
she even have
you.
it?
Yeah, this one is really kicking my butt, and I'm having a hard time. So this this hour-long mastermind might be not quite an hour if we get wrapped up sooner. It's just
Huh.
really hard for me. I've this without I'm already recording, so it's probably going out live here. But my leg, if you guys would see my leg, it is bruised literally from top to bottom, which the other one I had bruising, but this one, I swear to God, it's like somebody put my leg on the road. They rolled their truck over it 100 times, and it's just massively bruised up and down. So it is so uncomfortable to like sit anywhere or do anything because everything is like pushing on the bruise. So it's been a challenge, let's put it that
I'm
way. But
sorry.
yeah, thank you. But I get my first PT appointment today, so we'll see how that goes. But anyway, so we are on week 4 of our business planning, and it's actually our final week of the business plan. Okay. Next week, we always end the month with EXP explained. But what we're going to do is next week, we're going to really talk about, we'll do a little bit of EXP explained, but we're really going to focus on the rev share and the stock purchase option because that is a passive income opportunity that I believe you should plan or build into your action plan for 2025. Okay. If your goal is to have some other type of income outside of the transactional income, I definitely think that next week you're going to want to pay attention because we're going to really kind of break into that revenue share program and the stock purchase program and really look at how very little it would take for you to add some passive income, to your money that you're bringing in next year. Okay. So this week, what we wanted to do is we wanted to focus on getting everything that we've talked about into like have it all come to fruition here. Okay. So can you guys see my screen here? Okay.
yep.
Okay. So we talked last week about doing the 411 action goal worksheet. And what this is hopefully you took the time to do your financial worksheet where you looked at your GCI goal and you were able to break down, how much of that is buyers and sellers. And then it just took you step by step all the way through to the bottom where you had a number of transactions that you needed to close, for buyers and for listings every year. Okay. Or I mean, total for the year to meet your annual goal. So what we want to do then is go to that 135 worksheet, right? Which we talked about a few weeks ago. And we set those goals, priorities, and strategies around reaching those goals. What are some of the things that you want to do? And I remember Lisa said she wanted to do more social media and things like that. You're going to build those priorities to reach your goal and the strategies. And then on this 411 action goal worksheet, these are actually going to be the activities. Okay. So when we start this, we're going to start with that annual goal in mind of your GCI or your number of transactions. And I would probably put both of those up top. Okay. So I'm actually I want to just stop my share. Bruce, I'm going to have you share the fillable one, and we're going to go through this and fill it in. So why don't you pull that one up? I know Lisa tapped out. I don't know if she just turned her camera off, but I was going to pick on Lisa. Are you here, honey?
I'm here. Sorry, I had to grab a quick call.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I kind of said I was going to pick on you last week for this week.
Yeah.
I don't know if you had the opportunity to do the financial worksheet and break it down to like your numbers of activities or, your per week.
Well, so the hard part for me right now, Kelly, is that because I'm just restarting my business as of June, I didn't have back data to really work with. I
Sure.
have a lot of data moving forward, right?
Yep.
That I got all my goals and things set up that way as far as how many buyers, how many sellers, what's my numbers I want to reach, how is the math all going to work?
Okay. Okay. Well, let's pick on you as much as we can and use your information here, and we're going to build you out a 411. Okay.
Okay,
So
I'm gonna hop off for just one more second.
You bet. You
We'll
bet.
be right back.
You bet. So, like Lisa had mentioned, she is getting back into this. If you guys are restarting or you don't know your conversion rates when you did that financial worksheet, there are averages you can use, right? And I think we talked about those. I don't have those in front of me now, but you can just use the national average of conversion, for the time being until you know what your conversion rates are from, calls to appointment, from appointment to contract, from contract to close. So, you know, I think the national averages are pretty good. Some of us might be higher in other areas, or lower in other areas, but until you really get to know yours, feel free to use those averages. Okay. Good morning, Bob. Good morning, Linda.
Good morning.
Good
How are
morning.
you?
Good, good. We're gonna wait for Lisa to pop back on here. So,
Yeah, no problem. I'm driving right now. That's why my face is not on, but I'll be logging back in here in probably about 10 minutes.
okay,
So,
awesome. And then are you gonna be out next week?
me?
Yeah, are
Yes.
you? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Mhm.
All right, Lisa is back. All right, honey. So let's start with Bruce is going to kind of just type this in as we go through it. So let's start with your annual goals for this next year, your GCI goal and or your transactional goal. What are you hoping to accomplish in
Okay.
2025?
So I kind of broke it down all together. My goal, are you guys still there?
Yep.
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay. I broke it down. 250 is my goal for next year for money.
Okay. Is that your
Um,
take home or is that your gross commission income?
I just want gross.
Okay.
I would be
Perfect.
happy with that just being gross for
Yep.
kind of first year out of the blocks.
Yep. Exactly.
I have it broken down as that being one Homes for Heroes person that I'm helping each month,
Okay.
whether that's buyer or seller,
Okay.
because I'm part of the Homes for Heroes. And then 2 buyers per month from my Snyder team,
Okay.
and 1 seller per month from my Snyder team.
Okay. Awesome.
So the numbers behind those are, I just kind of went with an average, right?
Mhm.
If you go back up, Bruce, for the Homes for Heroes, if I do one a month, that would be about $5,000 to me.
Okay.
Again, just averages, right?
Yep.
Just trying to be doing low rather than high averages. 2 buyers per month, there would be 10,000. And then 1 seller per month from the Snyder team would be another 5.
Okay.
So is this what you're asking me for?
Yep. This is great.
Okay.
Yep. So actually, what I would do if I were filling this out is, you're going to do one of these 411s every month. Okay. So your 135 that you filled out was for the year, right? That's your kind of your goal, your priorities behind that goal, your strategies that you're going to use throughout the year.
Yep.
This 411 is done every month. And so what you
Okay.
do, and we know every month can be different, right? We
Yep.
can be seasonal, right? We might know that December might be a little bit differently. We may know that we're going to get the bulk of our production somewhere in, March through July, right? That's probably the bulk of our production. And then those ancillary months, we don't, right? So you can tailor this every month to fit your goals based on those activities, okay?
Rather
So,
than doing, those are my annual, but you're saying break it down. Okay.
yep. So this is how we're going to really break it down simply. So if
Okay.
you're saying, Lisa, I don't really care about seasonal, these are my monthly goals, then Bruce, I would like copy and paste that down under monthly goal, right? So we know your GCI for the year is 250. And so if we're filling this out monthly, January, and you can see at the top where it says my monthly goals and it says month of, you can type in the month. Then you're going to want to put your goals there. Okay. And then let's say there's other goals. Now, these are just production goals in terms of like what you'd like to close, but maybe there's a goal, of you want to attend a networking function once a month, right? You might put that down. Like, so do you have any other monthly goals? Like if you're thinking like every month, I want to make sure I accomplish this. I want to attend X amount of meetings. I want to do whatever, right? That's where you would put for that month what those goals are.
Okay.
Okay.
So do you want me to fill those in, or are you saying just going forward?
Yeah, I would just say going forward. But is there
Okay.
something else that you have that that you want to do every month to help
Okay.
accomplish your goals?
So like the amount of phone calls that because I have on my calendar, I blocked my calendar so that I have, right, time for in the morning, first thing, catching up on emails, planning, checking what I've got going on for the day, and then phone calls and prospecting and emails and okay.
Awesome. So you could do this and say your monthly goal is you're going to set up your calendar for the month, right? You're going to time block your calendar for the month, right?
That's what I'll do is towards the end of the month, I'll then now carve out some time to do that.
Right, to do it for the next month. Yep. And again, we know things change. We know seasons change. They bring on different things. So your calendar may change from month to month. It's not going to be the standard. I would encourage all you guys, if you have family vacations or you have things planned out, put those on your calendar. Get all your personal time on your calendar first. And then you can go in and do like at the end of the month, time block for the next following month, based on kind of where you're at with your goals, what you need to beef up, maybe what you need to change. Okay. This is a fluid thing. So, okay. So let's just say, and again, let's just say Lisa she wants to get out there and network with some agents once a month. So Bruce, why don't you put in under monthly goal? She's going to attend one networking function. And then I know, Lisa, you said you wanted to do some social media in 2025. So when you think about that, what would your goal from a monthly standpoint be for your social media goals?
I would like to try to do weekly posts. That is my goal.
So how many weekly?
One per week, weekly posts.
One post per week. Okay.
Yeah.
So then I would do one post per week or four social media posts, per month, right?
So with that, I'm hoping, and you guys help direct me if you do something differently, is that it would be just informational, unless I have new on the market or just sold, right, things to announce, that it would be more informational.
Yep, absolutely. Okay. So there's you want to look at it. I'm going to find this. Maybe we'll bring this in next week, beginning of next week, because I don't have it right in front of me, but there's a formula, and Bruce, maybe you have it, of, like the posts, like you want to do X amount business, X amount like informational, X amount coming from contribution, X amount personal, right? Like, because they don't want to
Okay.
now just see you as all business, right? They want to know the Lisa, the personal Lisa, but they also want to see, that you're doing some business, but they don't want to be like, oh, here's Lisa again with her just sold her 20 closed transactions,
That
it's
makes
just all
sense.
business, right?
Yep.
So
So Lisa, real quick, do you have a like a business Facebook page and a personal page, or
I
just a
have
personal
just a
page?
personal page. I don't have a business page.
Okay, and the reason I ask is there are different percentages for each one of those pages on how you post.
Okay.
You obviously your business page should be a lot more business, but you should trickle in some personal. Your personal page should be personal with maybe 20% business, right?
Okay.
It's think of it as being out at one of the functions, right? Most of the time when you talk to people, you're talking about anything but business unless
Right.
they bring it up, right?
Right.
And then sometimes you make a joke and you say, okay, I'm going to put my real estate hat on really quick for just a minute. Here's who I am. Here's what I do. And but that doesn't take the bulk of your time with those people. That's the same way you should look at personal like social media posts as well.
yeah, and your personal post, Lisa, can be you doing work stuff. Like
Sure.
there's agents that, they're like, hey, putting my open house signs out, like blah, blah, blah. This is the worst part of open houses, or whatever. They make a joke, right? But it's personal. But they see you doing your work. Or,
Yeah.
hey, we're out volunteering at Channel One today, like Bruce and I were picking apples. We did a post on we're picking apples today, for Channel One.
It's going to be a stretch for me because I'm not a real public person that way, and
Yeah.
with
And
all of this.
honestly,
So
I'm not either. I cannot stand it. I mean, I would, if you would go to my personal page, most of the stuff that's on my personal page is probably stuff that Bruce has filtered over from our business page and he just copies over and maybe I'll do a few posts, right? Because I'm not a big poster
I
either.
imagine
I am
that.
not either. So like I said, this is a personal challenge for me. So
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, again, one a week should be
yeah.
very easy to do for you, and you're actually going to probably find that it's easy that you end up doing more than one a week. That's the reality of it. But I think this is a great place to start, and if you can hold yourself accountable to at least doing one a week, at the end of the month, you could have a couple business and a couple personal, right?
Yep.
And personal doesn't have to be so personal that you're sharing your whole life and you feel like you're exposed, right? Like that's not me either. But a personal, like I said, could be um the more personal side of your business, right? Like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm home. I work with Homes for Heroes, you guys, and this is a story I just wanted to share. I have this awesome client, and this is the transaction. This is how it happened, and this is a great story, right? So it could be just the personal side.
Okay.
It's not about like, oh, hey, got another closing, another happy client, yada yada, right?
Okay.
So or just
Well,
talking
thank you guys.
educational.
Again, this is helping me raise the bar, right? Push
Yep.
outside my comfort zone. So
Yeah. Or
Hey,
just
Kelly,
even educating people about the
Kelly,
Homes
didn't
for
you have
Heroes
someone come
program.
on about that too? Didn't you have a social media person come on and speak to that a while back and how
Yep.
personal you got to, it's hard for me too. I don't like doing sharing that stuff. I like to keep it business, but it's hard to do that every once in a while. But getting out of our comfort zone is big. She made a big point of that.
Yeah, actually, Lisa, if you go on Empire Mastermind, if you go
yeah.
back through, if you just scroll back through all of our postings, um,
Mhm.
oh, Bruce, I have a mental block on her name, Washington.
It was
Um, uh,
Oh, was it Jamie?
Linnea
Oh,
Carver.
Linnea Carver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She does basically, she gets probably 80 to 90% of her business just from like Instagram and social media. So she doesn't
wow.
pay for anything, but she just does it consistently and she does classes. So, I mean, this might also be something that you say, you know what, maybe I'm going to invest in taking a class on social media posting to find out number one, how to do it super efficiently, right?
Mhm.
Like if I can do it one, are there services that can when I post it here, it'll automatically post it to my LinkedIn, it'll post it to my Instagram, it'll post it to my other socials. So I only have to post it once, right? So there's ways to become very efficient where you're only posting once, but it looks like you're posting everywhere, right?
Yeah.
And then she does a great class, I know regularly on just, how to do it quickly, easily, and
Great.
take the pain out of it.
That's awesome. And I know Bob is working on, or has maybe even get somebody kind of connected with our team that is very, very savvy with the social media. So
Good.
I think
Good.
those combinations would be good.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Just a couple of thoughts. We as far as what you can possibly expect. Cool thing, we've been working on our YouTube channel for a year. We paid somebody, we do the videos, they post them all over. It's been a year, and yesterday Kelly finally got our first call from our YouTube channel from a couple in Virginia that's
Oh,
looking
wow.
to buy a house, and we're probably going to do a virtual tour for them, and they're ready to move here.
That's
So,
awesome.
So it's a long game. I mean, you got to
Yeah.
know that you're doing
Yeah.
it for the long game result. But you just got to do it. I mean, we're in a world right now where, and I don't even know where this is headed, right? I mean, social media, there's so much new stuff popping on every second that we get lost. You post and you get lost 10 seconds later. So I don't know how that's even going to change, but I think if you're not doing it, it has to be part of your plan. So I applaud you for doing that. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's look at just looking at these monthly goals, okay?
Yep.
So
Yep.
if we looked at the monthly goals for this month and we said, okay, we want to get, one per month for Homes for Hero, what are you going to do if you look at breaking this down for the 4 weeks of the month? And granted, there's going to be some months that have 5 weeks, but on average, they're going to have 4 weeks to the month. Now what you do is you take your week by week and you build in your activities, right? So if that means,
hey, really quick, Cal.
yeah,
Before we move on to the weekly goals, I just want to point out to Lisa that the the monthly goals that we have here, the 60,000, 120, and 60, are $10,000 less than the 250 total. So I don't know if you.
So 250 is my goal, and I went again. I'm going to probably make 6,000 on one, 4,000, 2,000.
Yep.
I don't know, so I just kind of put it.
those are
roughly.
averages. Yep.
I just wanted you to know that there's a $10,000 difference between your annual and your monthly. That's just the geek in me
I
coming out.
still really want the 250 though.
Yeah. Well, and like you said, this is you just saying you want one per month from Homes from Heroes. You want 2 buyers and 1 seller. You might get some ancillary business. You might get a referral. You might get something else that's going to fill in that gap, of that $10,000. So
I'm confident that I will. If I don't, then I really need to sharpen my pencil.
okay. So
All
now
right,
when we think about your monthly goals, Lisa, let's start with, like your Homes for Heroes.
Yep.
What are you going to do on a weekly basis to find that weekly, that buyer for the month?
So I have met now with, I have Minnetonka and Eden Prairie as my territories for Homes for Heroes. I have met with the Minnetonka police chief.
Okay.
And I have met with the chief also with the Minnetonka Fire Department.
Okay.
Weekly, I'm going to be stopping by with a basket of goodies. And I've asked to be involved on a monthly basis or bi-monthly basis with one of their meetings to just do a quick, hey, just want to make sure you guys know that I'm here and that you remember what Homes for Heroes is. So I'm going to be hopefully touching them weekly.
Okay.
Just to come back and fill the basket and shake some hands and do some networking.
Okay, perfect. So you might find, is it just Homes for Heroes? Is it just police force or is it?
No, so I'm trying to expand, unfortunately, with some of the health stuff that's been going on here as well. I'm trying to expand because it also is teachers.
Yep.
It's nurses. police, firefighters, and EMS.
Okay. So what I would probably do, and you may not be able to maintain a weekly stop by with a basket of goodies, right? If you start expanding your market and now you're hitting this school or this district or
Yep.
whatever, and that may be something that is not a sustainable thing, right? So that might be part of your plan, but instead of Bruce saying stop by weekly with a basket of goodies, I would make one of your weekly goals is that you are making contact with either a current Homes for Heroes, client and or a new one, right? So every week you're out there either doing your pop by with goodies or calling to say, hey, I'd love to do a lunch and learn for your faculty, on the Homes for Heroes program, whatever. Just you're trying to get at least one appointment per week to be in front of these guys in regards to that program. Okay.
So that was Minnetonka and what was the other city?
Eden Prairie. So I have not gotten even, I did all my research. I have it all together. I just haven't quite gotten to go in and start making calls. So.
Yep. And so, maybe as you start this too, Lisa, like looking at your goals, because this might be month 1, right? Month 1 might look different than month 6 from now when you're filling this out, right?
Yeah.
So maybe your weekly goal for this, for your Homes for Heroes, is to come up with a flyer or some type of marketing material that you can use for the program that has you and your contact information, that when you make the call or you want to do a pop by, you can stop and drop that off, right?
I already have those.
Awesome. Lovely. Good. Do they have poster size that like these people can put in their lunchrooms or break rooms?
I don't know. I think I might have to get permission for those, but
Okay.
yeah. I mean, that's the idea, is a basket with my materials laminated, a little slogan that says giving back to those who give so much.
Yep.
A little scan. I have a scan code that I purchased for that. And then just staying in front of them. So many people don't know that this is an option for them. So
exactly. Good for you. So yeah, I would make the goal to obviously connect with one of your partners in that Homes for Hero eligibility realm on a weekly basis, right? And then continue to try to create opportunities to be in front of them in a lunch and learn or some type of a quick seminar, of some sort. Because dropping a basket off is one thing. You actually in front of them saying, hey guys, you don't even, because some of them will walk by the basket, grab the goodies, and won't take the time to read about the program, right?
That's why I'm asking to get in front of the teams.
Yep. And I think once you get in front of them and they can talk and they can hear about what the benefits are, then that's like wildfire, right? That starts to spread and people start talking about it, which is awesome. So also look to see if it's in your budget, number one. But if there are sponsorship opportunities, right? They host events, they do things that maybe you can sponsor something, and be a part of that. Okay. So that's one of your goals for the Home for Heroes. What about for the Snyder team, getting a buyer and a seller? What are you doing for that? Or is that more just like Zillow leads coming in kind of a thing?
It is, but it's also working my small sphere that I have, making sure that I am staying in contact with people. Right now, I have it set up so that people through Ylopo are either on a campaign where you identify. Do you guys use Ylopo?
We don't. Nope.
So we can identify whether they're buyer or seller, whether they're urgent or not, trickle campaign, that type of a thing. So clearly identifying with each one where they're at in that process, and then using that tool to make sure to schedule a task so that I know, okay, I said I would follow up with you in 2 weeks, or that I would, do monthly check-ins, that I'm making sure to use that tool to keep me on track.
Okay, awesome. So when we think about, instead of just putting like work your sphere, when you think about, okay, we want to have so many appointments. So what is this? It comes down to be 1 Homes for Heroes, 2, so 4 per month you want closings, right? So you need 4 times 12, you need 48 closings, right? Did
Yep.
I
I'm
add
doing
that up
open
right?
houses. I'm doing open houses as many as I am able.
Okay, so let's break this down, Lisa, and say, if you're going to work your sphere, are there X amount of contacts you're like actual conversations or face-to-face contacts that you're wanting to have with your sphere on a weekly basis? You know, like we always would say, 20 contacts a day, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to make
Yeah.
20 contacts a day, which would mean 100 contacts a week?
Yeah. That's real close to what my goal is.
Okay. So then
Um,
Bruce, I would put work sphere from Snyder team, and put, 20 contacts, or I mean, I'm sorry, 100 contacts that week.
100 a week.
100 a week. Yep. 20 a day.
And I try to break it up from week to week because I don't want to drive them crazy either. One week might be a phone call, another week might be an email, and another week might be a text message, but at least touching them
Yep.
and
Yep.
having purpose for my touch.
Yep. Exactly. Good. So yeah, so if you can break it down to, whether you do it 20 a week, or I mean 20 a day, or
Yep.
you put 100 for the week, looking at here's what I need to do and here's how I'm going to track it. I'm going to use that pipeline tool. I'm going to track my contacts. So I know I did my 20 today, moving on.
Right.
Tomorrow I'm going to do my next 20, whatever. And I'm going to call till I make those contacts. Great. Right. But this is where you're breaking down the specific activities, right? So if you
Right.
said you wanted to do open houses, how many open houses per week do you think you want to try to accomplish? Or are you going to do like week 1, I want to do an open house, week 2, I'm not, week 3, I'm going to do open house, week 4, I'm not. Like I'm going to do them every other week,
I'm actually trying to do them every week.
Okay, so are you going to try to do 1 a weekend, 2 a weekend? How many are you wanting to do?
Right now, I will do and take whatever I can get. So,
Okay. So let's just say do 2 open houses. Obviously you can go back
2
and
open
really
houses
fine tune
per
all of this.
weekend, 2
Yeah.
to 3. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll say 2 open houses per week, right?
Yep.
So this kind of gives you guys an idea of like, if Lisa gets up and she knows this week, she's got to connect with at least someone in her Homes for Heroes thing, right? She's got to make 100 calls this week, or 100, she's got to make 100 contacts this week from her sphere. And she has to set up 2 open houses this week, right? So she's just looking at it on the weekly basis. It's a lot easier than saying, I need to make $250,000 on GCI this year.
And I also weekly try to do a networking event.
Awesome. Perfect. Okay. So then you mean you attend one?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. So yes, and then perfect. And then the social media post, do the social media post per week. So did you say you wanted to do one? Yeah, 1 per week, right? Yep. Okay, perfect. So those are kind of your goals, right? So
Yep.
you now know you can, and you could even break it down and be more specific, right? You could say week 1 for, let's say, your social media post is Monday, I'm going to determine what type of post I'm going to do. Tuesday, I'm going to create that content.
Right.
Wednesday, I'm going to make the post, right? Thursday, I'm going to follow up on the post to see if there's any comments or likes or whatever, anything that I need to respond to, right? I mean, you could
Right.
get pretty specific on this,
I
but
like to be kind of granular because then I can hold myself accountable.
right. And you just check it off, right?
Yep.
So, or you can just say, time block my calendar for my social media post, right? Then in your
Right.
calendar, you can go on your calendar and say, you know, plan for post, create content, post, follow-up comments, right? Like
Right.
you can put that on your calendar, right?
Right.
So basically then, unless something's going to change week to week, maybe you're on vacation week 4 and you know you're not going to be doing anything week 4, but we know we still have to accomplish X amount of activities for the entire month. You might have to change some of your numbers week 1, 2, and 3 to beef up for the fact that you're going to be gone week 4. Does that make
Right.
sense?
Yep.
Okay. So this is exactly what we're talking about, where you can break it down very granular on your activities of what you need to do that week. And again, you guys, if you can just come in and at the end of the week, did I get those, or midweek, do a check.
Right.
Supposed to get 100 contacts, 20 every day. Where am I at? It's Wednesday. If I'm only at 40 and I should be at 60, I'm gonna need to beef up my activities, right? On Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday to meet my goals for the week. And if you can constantly hit those check boxes and do those things by the end of the year, I would be shocked if you did not hit your goals or surpass your goals, right?
Yeah.
And if you're not, then what you have to do is reflect on where you're falling short, right? Are you really counting a contact as a contact, right? Or are you like, oh, I made a phone call, I left a message, there's one. Nope, that's not a contact, right? So, did I do my post? Did I go back and follow up? Did I time block to just be out on Facebook and like people and comment on their things and be out there, right? Did I miss 3 of my social networking events? Did I miss that because I was just tired and, didn't feel like going, right? All of those things you have to reflect on. Did I do them, and did I do them at the highest level that I can do them? And if not, where are my skill sets falling short? And then that's where you can plan to invest in maybe additional training, or, get an accountability partner with, script play or role playing, to help you with conversion scripts and things like that, if that's where you're falling short. But that's really the only way that you're going to be able to really track what you're doing, learn where your shortfalls are, or where your skill sets fall short, and know where to improve, right? If we're not looking at it at this granular level or this like item by item level, we just have this big goal out there. And like I said, if Lisa and I want to drive to Dallas, Texas, and that's our goal, our end goal is we're going to Dallas, Texas, and I have the map, I've got the road map, and she's just winging it. She's going to get there at some point in time. It's just going to take her so much longer than having the map and me checking every step of the way. Am I on the right road? Am I on the right road? Right? So this is your roadmap, and don't be afraid to build it as specific as you need to, but use this tool and know that it's fluid. Know that every month it can change. So every month, sit down and say, okay, it's January. What do I need to do in January to kickstart things for the month, right? Here are my monthly goals for this month, knowing I might have a vacation in there or I might have something planned. How does that fit into my month? And then how do I need to build my weeks out for my activity to build around that?
Right.
Okay. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions on how this works? And I'll tell you guys, when I was a productivity coach, when I was with Keller Williams, the new agents would come on, and this is the exact tool that I would use. So we would sit down and we would fill out a 411 for the month. And what's your goal? What's your annual goal? What's your monthly goal? And what are you going to do every week, right? And then when I would have my weekly meeting with them, I would pull out the 411 and say, okay, this is what you said you were going to do this last week. Did you do it? And if not, why didn't you do it? Right? Why didn't you do it? What got in the way? And what can you do differently to make sure that this next week you're able to accomplish the things that you need to accomplish on that weekly goal? Okay.
Okay.
So there's power in writing your goals down and seeing them. That's a level of accountability, but share it with somebody. Okay. If you guys don't have an accountability partner, have your spouse or your kid or your somebody be able to go, hey, mom, we're going to sit down and go through, what'd you do this week? You said you were going to do this. Did you do it? Did you do it? Did you do it? Okay, great. Right. Or pick someone in your office to say, hey, would you mind, on maybe Monday morning for 15 minutes, we get together and we just review our 411 and see how we did last week and just hold each other accountable. Because when you have to meet and answer to somebody, you're getting that stuff done because you don't want to show up and go, nope, I didn't do it again. Right. And we know
The
life happens.
accountability,
What was that, Lisa?
helping with your accountability, right? Holding you accountable.
For sure. I'm gonna tell you, when I was in Bold, if you guys ever took Bold with Keller or any of those trainings where you have to show up on a weekly basis, I am telling you, it was a love-hate I had with it because it was such an accountability thing that you knew come Friday, you had that Bold training on next week, Tuesday. I knew I had to make 20 contacts a day. And if I was behind, I was working my butt off through the weekend because there was no way I was showing up on Tuesday for Bold to not say that I did what I needed to do. Right. And I brought my team down. My team wasn't going to want to be like, get the demerit point for me not doing my work. Right. So there's a lot of power in having that accountability. And it sucks. It doesn't feel good when somebody says, Lisa, this is the second week in a row now you haven't done it, right? Like, come
I
on.
hate that.
No, I know. And it's an eye opener, but we all need it. And I'm going to tell you right now, in the stage of my career and as successful as we have been, I am the worst with accountability. Like Bruce is like, Kelly, you are a great preacher, but you don't even do what you preach, right? So the accountability is the key to really driving us forward. So if you had someone every week just saying, how'd you do? What can I help with? What went well? What didn't go well? And what are we going to change so that we can, achieve those goals next week? That's what you need. Okay. So find that person who isn't going to be nice. Like, and you don't want someone to be mean, but you want someone to say, Lisa, knock it off. Like, come on, no more excuses. What are you going to do? Right. You said you were going to do this and you didn't do it the week before. Come on. What's stopping you? Right. You need someone to have a little tough love with you for that 15 minutes. Okay.
Yep.
So find that person. And they don't have to be in your office. It could be another agent across the country. It could be whatever. If you want me to be your accountability, call me. I'm happy to meet with you on Monday mornings for 15 minutes and say, chop, chop, what do you got? Right. So just find that person. Okay. And put this on your calendar. Like you said, maybe the last couple days of every month that you're filling this new 411 out for the next month. Okay. And filling your calendar out and calendaring your personal time and your business time. Okay. So we've gone over a lot. Bruce, you can probably stop your share, I bet. And I'm going to just share mine back here.
Lisa, do you use Google Calendar?
I do.
So do you use the tasks on the calendar?
So I used to. Now with Ylopo, it was kind of doing double duty because there's
Okay.
tasks in Ylopo.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
decided to just, rather than drive myself crazy trying to keep track of two, I narrowed down to one.
Okay.
So I asked that only from the task standpoint because
Yep.
when we do our 411, I use Google, and so I take all of everything that we just put on your 411, I take and I put as a task on my Google Calendar.
Okay.
And that's what I use. That's my Ylopo, right? And so that way, every single day, it's in front of me. I have one place to go to know what to do, and I don't have to go around to my calendar and my contacts and my Ylopo and my
Yeah.
reminders and my 411 sheets. It's all in one place. So if you can do that and kind of make it easier for yourself to just go to one place and see what you've got going, I think that would definitely help.
But I think there's some merit in what you're talking about, because when I'm out in Google doing my emails and stuff, if I have my calendar pulled up with those right there, it's a nice reminder.
Yep.
Mhm.
So,
Well, and you guys, there's personality differences, right? I mean, the people who are, if you've ever done the disc training or whatever, the people who are salespeople are not the same type of personality that are like the back end transactional people, right? So Bruce being more the transactional business minded back end guy, he loves this. He loves the task lists. I mean, he's thriving in this where I am breaking out in hives thinking about it, right? So that's the difference of for him that works. For typical salespeople, we necessarily aren't task driven and like we're not the detail type people. We just want to get out there and talk and meet people and it's all fun and warm and fuzzy, right? So it's hard sometimes for us if you're not that task oriented person to adapt to doing that. But I think that's why if you can break it down to here, just look at what I got to do every week. Did I do this? Did I make my calls? Yep, check, 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 check. Have that up in front of you every week. It hopefully is an easier way to do this than just always having to be so, detailed and checking 20 different systems every day. Right.
Right.
So trying to pull all of this together over the last 4 weeks, hopefully your why to help pull you through. If not, I'm going to challenge you guys to go back and review every week that we've done here and do the exercises, dig deep, figure out what's making you get up and go to work every day and make it hurt and be emotional, right? We want to feel that. Otherwise, if it doesn't move you, it's not going to make you move. Have a measurable income goal by using that economic model or that worksheet that we gave you. Build out that 1-3-5. And really, if you haven't done it, do that and have it ready to be executed, to start executing that by at least middle of November at the very latest, because again, what we're doing November and December is going to show up as results in January. And so we want to have a really great, solid start to the year. We don't want to start with like, oh, it's 2025 and my first closing isn't going to happen until March. I mean, we've lost a whole quarter then, right, of the year to accomplish these goals. And think about, Lisa, if you're hoping to, close 4 sales every month and you don't have a closing till March, we're already, 12 closings behind. How are we going to make that up, right? So start executing by November at the latest. Embrace the suck, you guys. This lead generation isn't fun, right? And sometimes we have to do the stuff that really sucks, and that's what makes winners win, right? Is they do the things that most people aren't willing to do or don't want to do, and they just do it. And like I said, when you look at the fact that, oh my gosh, I've got to make 4,000 calls over the course of a year, or if I say I have to make 100 contacts a week, that seems a little bit more doable. Or 20 contacts a day, that feels a lot more doable, right? But embrace the suck, put it on your calendar, build in that lead generation time. If you do that and you stick to it, you will have a awesome 2025. We talked about the accountability partner, so we won't beat that horse to death. Execute your ideal calendar to the highest level every day. If you're going to take the time to time block and set your calendar up, hold it sacred, you guys. I'm the biggest like person that doesn't do that. And I wish I could. I really try every day. I work on it. That's my Achilles heel, but hold it accountable and don't be that person that when someone says, hey, you got 5 minutes? If you're in the middle of lead generation, I do, but it'll be at noon. Can we meet at noon? Right? Or if you need something emergent, you'll have to find somebody else because I'm in the middle of my lead generation, right? Or if you're doing it at the office, put up a little sign. I'm in the middle of lead generation. Please do not disturb, right? Do whatever you got to do to get your stuff done and stick to that calendar. Adapt to the shifting market and adapt quickly, right? Who knows what's going to happen? We've already started to feel a little bit of a change. It's going to obviously take more disciplined work hours than probably last year or the last number of years, but you guys are going to have to adapt and do it faster or sooner rather than later. And then believe in yourself and have fun, you guys. Hopefully you're in this career because it's something you want to do and you enjoy doing it, right? So have fun with it. If you get up every day and you like are like, oh, I gotta go to work, like you're already the day's already not successful, right? Because you don't even have the right mindset. And we talked about all of that. So get up and say, like, I am excited. Lisa's like, I am a representative from Homes from Heroes. I am bringing so much to this community. Like, I am so excited to give back to these people. Like, if you can embrace that and that's the attitude that's coming out when you're contacting these people, that's contagious, right? Or have fun, plan a social event that's fun, right? And just keep it exciting and you'll continue to want to do it.
Yep.
And then just some quotes to live by. We say you either make moves or you make excuses. So who are you guys going to be this year? Are you going to be the one who's moving or making excuses? And champions move towards accountability. Average people wait for it. So find that accountability person that's going to, hold their thumb down on top of you to make sure that you're hitting those activities. And imperfect, consistent action will outperform perfection every day. I used to teach a lot of classes and I would see people come to those classes every day, or I mean, not every day, but every class, but they were never out doing it, right? I said, you guys are becoming the perpetual student, but you're never out there doing it. And you will learn so much more by getting out and doing it. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just go do it. You're going to learn by failing forward, right? So the imperfect action is okay as long as it's consistent. Just stay consistent with your activities and you will outperform the person who's trying to be perfect every day, right? Again, 90% mindset, 10% skill. It's all about believing you're going to do it, knowing you're going to have the right mindset every day, waking up and saying, I'm going to go kill it. I'm going to get my stuff done by noon so I have the whole rest of the day to fart around and do whatever I want to do, right? But what do they say? If you win the morning, you win the day, something like that. And if you want to get paid like a pro athlete, you've got to start acting and training like one. I love this one because, again, a lot of us want the money that they make, but we definitely don't have the dedication, or we don't want to put in the practice and the time that they put into their skill or to their sport, right? So we've got to put that same dedication and time into our industry and our career if we want to get paid the big bucks. Okay. Any questions on the last 4 weeks and or building out your 2025 action plan?
No, this has been great.
Good.
I know we're doing parallels with the team with building out our plan. So this has been really helpful.
Awesome. I would encourage you guys to, it's so fun. We talked about this in one of the sessions, is to build out your little vision board, right? Go to Hobby Lobby or whatever, get some crafts and supplies. You don't have to spend a lot of money, get some magazines and just kind of build that vision board out. Like saying, okay, if I hit my goals, what does this mean? Like, do I get to buy the cabin on the lake, or do I want to take my family on a vacation to, wherever? Put those things out there and put it in front of you. And that's going to help motivate you too every morning to say, yep, this is why I'm doing it. I'm embracing the suck. I hate making the contacts, but it's 20 a day. And if I can do it, life is going to be good, right? And then at the end of 2025, you can post your social media posts of you with a margarita on the beach for your family vacation, right? So you get to, celebrate the wins as well. So again, next week, Bob, I know you're going to be at EXPCon. I don't know if the rest of you guys are going to be there, or if anybody's going to be around, but we're going to do EXP Explained, but we're going to tie into this 2025 action plan of the passive income piece. We're going to really focus on that stock option and the rev share, and building a little bit of time block in your calendar for agent attraction, so that we can break that down to the granular level of, really, it's super simple. Maybe it's an hour time block a week for you to just reach out to some agents, have coffee once a week with an agent. What is it really? How many agents for you to attract per year is it going to take to really make a difference, in your passive income opportunities? So we'll really focus on that next week. And Bob, have a great time at EXP Con.
Thank you.
I think what I'm gonna do for the first week in November, I don't know if we have anything scheduled yet, or I might want you to just do an EXP Con recap, like for Mastermind. So maybe pick up, pick a couple things that you attend or that you learn or that you want to bring back, and you can host that first week in November, a recap of it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that.
Perfect. Well, you guys, thank you, Lisa, for being our guinea pig today. I appreciate your willingness to be vulnerable and open in front of us. And I hope that you certainly feel free. I think Bruce emailed you that 411, but feel free to go on in and tweak it and change it and correct it and do whatever you got to do. But all of this stuff is posted on the Empire Masterminds page under files. You can find all of these forms to download them. And reach out if you have any questions, okay? Otherwise, make it a fabulous week, and we'll talk to you soon.
Good
All right,
luck
thanks,
with your
Kelly.
recovery.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.